we'll get a chance to talk about our businesses and the connections we're looking for. So that's if our presenter doesn't show up. Hopefully he does. But meanwhile, Adam, go ahead and kick us off this morning.
Real quick, can I have everybody wave good morning to the YouTube audience? We are officially live.
Oh no.
Look at that beautiful slide. Adam, I can't hear you. Are you on mute?
I might have been.
Okay, go for it.
So we've got here this beautiful slide, as Sonia pointed out, and our big mission here at Million Cups is to lower the barriers so people can have more education and access to starting their own business and keeping their businesses going and making some really neat connections. And here's our crew when we used to be in person and hope to be one day again. The idea that 1 Million Cups had with the Coffin Foundation is to create some consistency across the nation for local companies and people to like collaborate and create some sort of like, you know, high-end working together. And you can see Texas in the Southwest here has all kinds of connections, and so does Oklahoma. Louisiana even got somebody in there. But we over here in Albuquerque, we are the one New Mexican at this moment, 1 Million Cups location. And so anybody out here, especially during this virtual time, can apply to come and say, hey, we've got a company. And we even sometimes do some outside of this area, but we like to try and focus on the local. The key pillars we've got are for not pitches. We like to like talk about what we're doing and what we're creating, and then have sort of a conversation around it, and then also connect with people and not just shove around business cards and say, hey, call me, and that kind of stuff. So in the end, we're really wanting to be intentionally inclusive. And that means when you want to present, you have a welcoming audience that's there to listen to you and then give feedback and have an interaction. And the thing that I often run into when I'm asking people to apply to present is they're like, I don't think I'm ready yet. And if you've ever gone to a startup school or anything like that, you might hear them say, what you should do is you should launch early and often. So just because you showed up once doesn't mean that it's over. If you're like, make a new growth or something, come again. The one holdback is you want to have at least $1 from someone that is actually purchasing your product because they want it and not just because they're trying to please you. But that some sort of client was all you need to have in order to present. And then here is our team. Paul Sauter is with Aquaseek. He's the Chief Scientific Officer. Lisa Adkins is here at Fat Pipe, which I'm actually at right now. It's a great place to work and collaborate. We're keeping distance, and we have these nice little face masks when we're moving around. Eric is in the background, always working on something for the city in the local entrepreneur area, the director of e-ships. Bopsy Sinandale is also working in the background, except even so much you don't see her here very often, but she's actually working on like social media and stuff for 1 Million Cups, and we're building some cool stuff there. She's the founder of Black Gold Wellness. And then there's myself, and then there's sponsors, which is not what I wanted to do. Oh, there we go. And then Sonia is got her creative activities going on with people who want to publish and create books. And Charles Garrison, the CEO of X10 Marketing, where he can make you have all kinds of great market ability. And here's Fat Pipe again. Loza and Loza also sponsors us. They are intellectual properties. More Than Organized, Miriam Ortiz-Pino is here. She would give you creamer if she could. And then Jason Collins just showed up, and he's got his photography stuff. All those nice videos or pictures we've had on the slides is from him. And Noventum Custom Software Development is Brian Steiner, and he's also sponsors us with donuts when we're around. And I believe that is all for the intro.
And I believe Charles is next.
All right. Hello, everyone. So today we have Donnie Bovin, and he is here. Donnie Bovin is a podcaster, a speaker, a coach. He does a lot of stuff. And when I first met Donnie, one of the things that really attracted me to him is if you go to his website, Success Champion Networking, um, on there, he has a phrase that says, surround yourself with other get shit done business owners. And I really thought that resonated quite a bit. I think that resonates with this group. So without further ado, Connie, you're up.
How long do I got, guys? I want to make
You
sure I
have,
respect
you have 6 minutes.
6 minutes. Rock and roll. Hello,
And the
everybody.
rest of it's questions and answers.
Yeah, please, and ask away, and feel free to critique and give me all the feedback you like. So I'm Donnie Bovin, the CEO and founder of Success Champions. We launched the company in 2017. Found podcasting in 2018, became one of the top podcasters in the world with the same podcast name called Success Champions. We launched 5 businesses under that brand, and I've spoken around the world. My favorite place I spoke was a 9-city tour in Ireland that I was able to take my wife with, which was freaking awesome. So there's a quick background about me. In April of 2020, we were slated to do the Badass Business Summit. And I had rented out a huge ass convention center in Fort Worth, Texas. I had speakers flying in from around the world, and we had completely sold out the event, and then COVID. So we had to, of course, postpone the event. And in that moment, I realized that the entire world was getting ready to move into an online space. In that online space, we'd been doing business for 2.5 years, 100% online, except for speaking gigs. But I knew how hard it was for us to get ramped up online and how many small business owners were fixing to struggle with transitioning into an online space. My background and career is in sales and sales training. I spent 20 years as a straight commission salesperson. So I built a lot of businesses through networking and the like, and I hated traditional networking and thought the system was broken. Networking hasn't evolved since 1985 when BNI, a great and amazing company, created networking groups and the like. We just decided that we're going to take their model and fucking fix it. So in March of 2020, we launched Success Champions Networking to create an environment to change how the world networks. Some of the things that we did to make sure that we were creating a tool that would allow people to grow and scale their business is we fixed everything that people hate about networking. First thing we did is all of our meetings were built for virtual. Our meetings are never in person, and we only do virtual meetings. We do not do the same boring ass meeting every week. We don't sit there and listen to people tell their fucking boring ass 60-second commercials that fills an hour meeting all day long, and we don't sing dumb jingles at the end of our presentations. So we run 4 different styles of meetings. We turn the group into educational and learning. So meeting style 1 is we do roundtables and we do mastermind-like discussions. We bring all the people together to bring some best practices, some knowledge, and we learn. The second style of meeting we run is we'll do very short introductions at the beginning, and then we kick it over to virtual coffees, and we put everybody into one-on-ones and send them together to sit down, spend some time together, and figure out how they can collaborate together. Meeting style number 3 is a member comes in and teaches something. This is not give the history of their company and all the background that nobody gives a shit about. It's literally to come in and teach a topic. One of our chapters, a young lady who runs a laser engraving company, came in and taught patent and trademark laws because that's how she studied in college, and she worked for an attorney that did nothing but that for 2 years. An amazing, amazing presentation. She did so well that I actually had to go call my attorneys to make sure my patents and trademarks were all taken care of. Meeting style number 4 is we have an approved speaker list that goes around to the different chapters and teaches things that's not related to their business. So we have a gentleman that teaches knowing your business numbers that runs a video company. We have a gentleman who teaches LinkedIn that runs a tax firm, right? So we have them go around so no sales pitches happen during the meetings. We launched this in March of 20 and is currently sitting on 35 chapters across the US and are getting ready to open up in Canada, London, and Mexico right now. The biggest thing I can need help from you guys is your thoughts on the thing that we have built and put together. And I'd be really, really curious on ideas of how we continue to raise awareness and get more people to know about this networking and how we're changing it in the styles. Some of the things that we're doing, because I know I got to be getting close to my 6 minutes. Some of the things that we're doing is we're launching a brand new podcast called Growth Mode that'll come out on March 17th. That is me and my director of operations debating all things. I would love to do it in Spanish, Janix. And we're opening in Baja is one of our chapters. So I'd love to talk more about that. But so we're doing Beautiful Let's Talk. We're doing the Growth Mode podcast. So my director of operations is very introverted. I'm obviously loud and very extroverted. So we're debating all things business development, sales, how to scale your business through the mindset of an introvert and extrovert. So, and that's coming out March 17th. So that's me in a nutshell. And what I have, feel free to bombard the pure living shit out of me. And if you're offended by language, my apologies. That's just how I talk.
All right. Thank you, Donnie, for your presentation. I'm super surprised. I could have swore you were an introvert, but it's just me. So we have two follow-up questions. Now you're from Texas, you're from Fort Worth.
Yep.
So one of our questions is a New Mexico question, red or green. Have you had red or green chili?
Well, I'm going to counter that question and ask, do you put beans in your chili?
That's a good question. So that would be a no.
Okay, then yeah, red chili, no beans, I'm in.
Okay, got it.
But I had white chili. Does that count?
Nope, but we'll do a free pass.
And Charles, actually, real quick, if you can hold that last question until the end of the Q&A.
Will do. So we'll hold that last question until the end.
Awesome.
In the meantime, if anybody has questions for Donnie, please feel free to share. Is that how we're?
Oh yeah, Donnie, do you have a
Yep, on it.
Okay, thank you.
With contact information? Right?
Yeah, he's on it. He's psychic there. He's working on
what
it.
he's doing. Okay,
sorry,
so
I'll quit interrupting.
So, if you guys have questions, we can start them now.
Wow, I wowed the group so much. They're like, I'm not asking shit, or they're intimidated. So,
it's awesome the work that you're doing.
This is JJ. Donnie, appreciate the presentation. My name is JJ Alcantar. I'm with our local Albuquerque Hispano Chamber of Commerce.
Beautiful.
But, how do you feel about transitioning back into the open world for networking in person again? Obviously, you've been doing some podcasts. So how are you going to balance that? And because we're in the same boat, because I'm a hugger and I'm a handshaker, and we've been doing all of our networking events virtually, but we're going to slowly transition back into in person. But we're trying to figure out, because some people have really given us some feedback of they still prefer virtual networking events, and that's fine. We have to continue that. But I just am interested to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so what we've found is, one, I run 5 companies and a full working farm. So literally downstairs in my living room right now, I got 3 baby goats sitting in a dog cage right now because they're milk babies and we're taking care of them, okay? I literally despise commuting. I love being around people. I love handshakes, hugs, the whole 9 yards, but I hate a commute. If I got to go to an event, I'm losing half a day. So we're knowing that once people get back to the windshield time, they're going to crave the virtual. So we're looking forward to that, but nothing will ever replace in-person networking, getting to know people, going to conferences, events, and the like. And we're encouraging it. I'm in Texas. I'm not going to debate, but Texas is going maskless on March 10th. I don't say that to cause a fight or anything, and I respect everybody's opinions on that, just for the record. But there's going to be a lot more events and things happening very soon. And we're encouraging people that if they're comfortable with that situation, then please go meet in person, because you make true connections that way as well. So it's going to be a combination of both, JJ. Does that answer your question?
Absolutely, thank you. And I guess my second follow-up is your goats downstairs. What are you doing? Goat yoga? What are you planning?
I've been asked to do goat yoga, and I've been asked to bring goats to birthday parties, which is kind of funny, but we won't do that. The idea of goats jumping all over you, shitting and crapping and everything else while you're bending and downward dogging or whatever the hell else it is, I don't understand it. So
Yes, sir. Thank you, Donnie.
Absolutely, JJ. Thank you.
All right. And Sonia, you have a question.
All right, I think Miriam comes before me.
Yep, I had you first, but Miriam, go ahead.
Charles.
She's like, I'm always first.
Damn it, Charles.
You know this. I'm wondering is there a chapter here in New Mexico? Or
There
you
is
just
a
really
chapter
want to-
in Albuquerque specifically,
Okay.
run by Jason Moore, who runs a franchising company. He helps people get into franchises. So that meeting meets Thursdays at noon y'all's time. So if you guys, and I don't want this to be a sales pitch. That's not what 1 Million Cups is about. I love 1 Million Cups, so it's not my goal here to pitch you or sell you on anything. If you'd like to visit a chapter, the link Success Champion Networking is there. You can actually request to go visit one of our chapters to see what it's like.
Yeah, and I was mostly asking for me, but also
It's okay to be selfish. I love it.
If you have how far along you are in getting things up and running.
So we're a year into it, 35 chapters. We have full onboarding processes. We step by step help these chapters build out and walk them through the entire process. We have a board of directors. So all the presidents of the chapter are our board of directors. We bring them together to help advise us. And they've told us a lot of the stupid shit we've done along the way, which has been really, really fun. I'm an open environment. And if we do something fucking wrong, tell us. That's been a lot of fun because we've learned and adapted, and how we started with the groups to where they've evolved now have come a long way because we learned a lot. And there's a lot of organizations that try to do virtual networking. Thank you, Debbie. But people who don't know goats, right. I understand what the, but, we built for virtual, and unfortunately a lot of people's organizations are built for in-person. Mm-hmm. So their meetings did not translate to a virtual environment, and their meetings are very dull and boring and over and over again. So we built specifically to make sure that didn't happen, with a lot of education and training.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and follow up on the other comment I had made about JJ mentioning the difference between in-person, and I belong to several groups. Like this one is fantastic virtual. And then I belong to another one that's really bad virtual. And it's like, do I even want to go this week? And yet once the conversation gets going, it's great, but there's always the, several minutes of adjusting to everything. So I like and I hate commuting as well. So there's that. I don't know. I'm saving like 6 to 8 hours a week by not going out. Yep. To meetings, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's a whole day to do stuff on my business instead of scrambling to do it in the evening. So
absolutely,
I love the concept, and I will be checking it out.
Thank you, dear.
And Donnie, there's two things that I've picked up from you, and this is outside of this meeting that I really like. But one that you did mention is that you have different meeting formats. I really think that's wise, especially when you have to make a last minute change, because you do have multiple different formats to draw on. The other thing is that you guys require attendance, so you can only miss one meeting a month.
One meeting a month, yep.
Yeah, and that's kind of nice as well, because that does make for, I would think it would make for an engaged group of individuals.
Yeah, and our chapters are 80% B2B focused. So we specifically said no multi-level marketing, no direct sales or anything like that. Nothing against those organizations. It just comes down, they're more interested in selling individuals on their services, and we don't want to sell to individuals. Our idea is the networking group itself is not your prospect list. The networking group is so I should get to know you so well that I can introduce you to my mom, or better yet, my best client. It's not for me to come to that meeting to try and get business. It's to come to that meeting to give business. Big different perception of it. Yeah. So thanks.
All right, Sonia, you are up.
Woohoo!
Don't try and get out of it this time.
All right, darn it. Good morning, Donnie. Actually, so one of my friends invited me to one of these old version of networking meetings. And what I thought was interesting and also kind of strange was that they only allowed one of each profession in the group. And I was curious if you've done it differently for your organization, and if so, why?
So in an individual chapter, we've done it the same. So there's one banker, there's one wealth management person, there's one business coach. In our chapters, I don't care how many we have. I mean, nationwide, we'll have multiple realtors, multiple, business coaches, and the likes all the way through. The reason we do it is it makes for a more tight-knit, laser-focused group. But I also encourage people to be a part of several networking groups, because there's a chance you're in that group, and what if you fucking hate the realtor, right? You're never going to refer them. So I want you to go network other places. But also every Thursday at 10 o'clock Central, we bring all the chapters together, and I come in and teach everything I've learned from business development, sales, and everything. And we do it via Zoom. So now you're networking across the nation with all of our members in all chapters. Does that answer your question, Sonia?
Yes, it does.
Was it a good answer?
Yes. Well, and I feel like one of the strengths we've seen here, especially through 1 Million Cups, is when two people from the same organization or the same profession meet and start working together.
Absolutely.
Because then they create a stronger platform for themselves.
Yeah.
And so I
one
think
of the things we're doing with that,
strength.
Sonia, is so like I didn't know for like realtors that if you bring realtors, one of their biggest incomes is referrals from other realtors. So once a quarter, we're bringing all the realtors from all the chapters together to do just that, meet each other so they can actually get and open doors for each other. But in the same token, you can't put a bunch of financial advisors in one room and not have them try and eat each other.
So true, right? or insurance salesman, or
right. So we're trying to get creative with, but we're also trying to respect boundaries of people as well.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Great question, Sonia. Phil, you had your hand up. You're up next.
Yeah. Hi, Donnie. I've done some BNIs before in the past. So it was interesting when you kicked off with that to see how you were changing the networking. I think you've answered a lot of questions that I was having, but I'm still interested in how do you source? You said that you have people coming in and do presentations, guest speakers, I guess, and things like that. And how do you source those people to come in, and how do you pick the topics that they're going to be, or how do you know the topics that they're going to come in where they're going to be?
Beautiful question.
Looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. So all of our speakers are members of other chapters. So first and foremost, we always bring them from inside. The second portion of that is somebody on my team. I hate being called corporate because that just sounds so old school, but I don't know what else to freaking call it. But from our corporate team, if you will, we attend a lot of the meetings, a lot of the chapters. And so we've seen somebody do one of the presentations. Like when I saw Dan Newwash, who runs a tax company, come in and teach LinkedIn for his chapter, and it wasn't, hey, get your profile right and all the crap that people typically teach from LinkedIn. He was actually teaching it how to use it as a business development tool. And it was so badass that I said, Dan, would you go around the country to our different chapters and teach LinkedIn that way? So that's how we started picking up the internal speakers. Was we heard their presentations, like Yvonne teaching patent and trademark law like she does. She's one of our approved speakers that will go around to the other chapters. So we eventually, Phil, will have some sort of, you can request to be a speaker. That is a fucking amazing idea, Miriam. Thank you for that. We will now. But we don't have a formal process for it right now, Phil, but it's something we're trying to build out kind of an internal Facebook group for all of our chapters, because a lot of our stuff we do is held on Facebook, and I don't want to be, captive to them. So we're building an internal Facebook function right now that we can have the approved speakers on there. The chapters can reach out, request them to come speak to their meetings and the like. Does that answer your question, Phil?
Yeah, I'm just throwing another one. You probably can hear from the accent. I'm not an original American.
I thought you were Texan.
No,
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
You said you're opening up in the UK.
Yes,
So maybe tell us a little bit about that, and then how are you proposing to interlink international business, international conversation, or international chapters?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're working on London right now. I have a husband and wife coaching team over there that are helping us put together a chapter over there.
Where in London?
Gosh, don't ask me that. London's the closest I can get you, bud. I should know that further, but and they are gonna do the same thing like we're doing in the US, and we are freaking putting them together just like we would a US chapter. We set the time, the 10 o'clock a.m. time for Thursday, so we can integrate all the international in, because the UK specifically 6 hours ahead of us, 5 to 6, depending on where they're at. So we did 10 o'clock as a universal time to bring everybody in. The only people that we can't get from a country standpoint is Australia, because their time zones are so bad. There are countries we're staying away from because of the political nature of those countries. But we are definitely moving in that direction. And like for the Badass Business Summit in September, the UK couple are actually already flying in for that event. So, and eventually we'll take the Badass Business Summit. So the Badass Business Summit is where in September, we bring all of our chapters together at a huge convention center here in Fort Worth. And everybody gets to then meet in person as part of it. And we do a lot of workshops and trainings and micro meetings and the like. So that's the other side of it, is we will be bringing people from around the world back into the marketplace. Is that helpful?
Thanks, Donnie. Yeah,
absolutely.
Great.
All right, so we're going to have 2 more questions. In the meantime, I want to let everyone know that we have 2 rooms today. So we're going to have 1 room with Donnie and 1 COVID-19 room with Paul Sauter. So in the comments, if you let us know which room you want to be assigned to, we can make that happen beforehand. Okay, so Miriam and Donnie, you had touched on this, or you had answered this actually, but I just want to highlight this question. So in the comments, she said, do you record your speaker presentations and share them with members? You said not yet, but you're going to, right?
Yeah, we are now. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't in the past, but we have a private Facebook group for all the members. So we could absolutely do that and put that in a group. It's a great suggestion, Miriam. Thank you.
And I'm sorry for the name. Yanix, is that how you say it? You had raised your hand?
My name is Hanix.
Hanix, thank you. Sorry for the mispronunciation.
No worries. It's in Spanish. I want to ask you, how many groups do you have in Spanish, and if you help the person who wants to run the trainings and how to do it, and the other, are you putting one group per state, or in the same state can be several groups, and how you handle it?
So I'll take the second question first, and then I'll come back to the first question. So we have multiple chapters in multiple states as we find people that want to help us start chapters. So like in Fort Worth, Texas, we have 3 groups. In Fort Worth, we have 1 in Arlington, we have 1 in Dallas, so all pretty close to each other. And we'll continue to open multiple things. That's one thing BNI really did right, is they figured out that they could have multiple chapters in multiple areas, and we'll follow that same model along those lines. On the Spanish thing, we tried originally. We had a group out of Houston that was going to come in and help us translate and change everything over to Spanish, and it just didn't come to fruition. And I think we just picked the wrong people to try and help us with that. So it is something I would absolutely love to do. Being in Texas, we're 51% Hispanic already. I just don't currently have that asset. So Janix, if you can help with that, I'm definitely interested in that conversation. Does that answer your question, Janix? Yanix, excuse me,
Yes.
Yanix, I'm sorry.
Yes, I would love it, and I know how to translate, and I've been translating before in English. Spanish is my first language, and I'm excited.
I couldn't tell. So yes, please. I put my Facebook group on there as well, guys. If you're looking to, so there's 1,300 small business owners there. It's a very active Facebook group. So if you come in there, Yanix, you can get to me the fastest way through there. So to come hang out there, and let's find a time to talk.
I sign up, and will you please find me on LinkedIn, please?
Yes, I can do that. It's my birthday today too, so I'm getting 500 million birthday messages on LinkedIn. So it may take me a second to get there, Yonix, but I promise I will find you.
We need to sing you a happy birthday.
That's
Come
all right.
on, everybody, happy birthday.
I think we can sing a solo that no one hears
You
anybody.
can hear us, right?
We could do a Mexican
Ouch.
version. We just sing pastel, 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 pastel. It's great stuff. It's quality.
Adam,
All right, Donnie,
Adam,
we
you
have-
should have done that one solo. I'm just saying.
We have one final question for you, Donnie, which is, what can this group do for you? How can we help you?
Well, I appreciate the feedback and questions. I'm looking for what we call GSDs, and GSDs are get shit done individuals. So these are the people that when they walk into a room, their presence typically, walking before them. They always find themselves in a leadership role. They're always, the people that are in charge of running meetings and the like. Those people I would love to meet because they can help us launch chapters. So we're looking for those people all over the world. So if that is you, or somebody like that, that's 100% who we're continuing to look for.
Awesome. Thank you. Real quick, I'll hand this back over to Sonia. I wanted to let everyone know next week we have Gary Sanchez lined up. He's a dentist from Albuquerque, but he's started a new program called the Why Institute. So he'll help you find your why. If you've ever done any research on Simon Sinek or read any of his books, you'll find that it's very closely related. And one of the things that he's going to be doing next week is allowing everyone to check their why for free. So just wanted to let you know that we've got someone lined up for next week, and I hope you can attend. Sonia, you're up.
Cool. Actually, I'm handing it over to Adam, and I think he's going to do our ask for some intros. And
So one of the things one of these things we've been doing is asking for 3 people to give their intros, just to kind of get a touch, especially if you're new, so that we can hear a little bit about you. Also, you get an exercise of talking about yourself, which is a good thing to do as a business. So I want 3 people who are new, and we have enough new people that if you are new, I'm probably talking to you. If you're willing to introduce yourself and just tell a little about what you're up to. You don't have to have a business, but you have one, you can tell about that one.
You're going to have to call on people, Adam.
Who said something?
I can go ahead here. My name is Mateo Kep.
Hey, Mateo.
I'm a student at UNM, and cool. I was told about this meeting by my professor, and so I came to attend this.
Was it Stacy Sacco?
No, it wasn't, but I had him for a different class.
Cool. Who was your professor?
It was Linda Schull.
Great. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, it's great people to get to know people. So what are you studying at UNM?
Well, I'm studying business management right now.
Oh, and, good.
I hope to graduate in another semester. And I have several business ideas I'd like to get out there. And yeah.
That's great. Well, it's good people to talk with here.
Very
Thanks,
good,
Mateo.
yeah. Thank you, guys.
All right, 2 more people that have been new here for the first time or haven't been here in a real long time.
Hi, my name is Rain. I'm also in a class with Professor Linda Schull.
Hey, Rain.
Hi, nice to meet you all. I'm actually a student athlete at UNM as well. So it's pretty exciting hearing everyone's business ideas.
Yeah. And keep up the conversation. When we break out into breakout rooms, there's lots of chances to talk.
Okay, thank you.
And so, Rain, what are you studying? Are you studying the same thing or just the same class?
I'm doing concentrations in accounting and entrepreneurship, but cool. I didn't really like the accounting part, so I decided to continue major. I'm just trying to finish it since I'm almost done with the concentration. Right. Yeah.
Move beyond school. It's a nice thing to do for a short time.
Having accounting skills is great for any small business you start. So
yes, that's what I figured too.
Thanks, Rain. One more person.
Okay, I'm going to pick on Debbie.
Way to go, Sonia.
Thank you. Debbie, are you feeling comfortable to introduce yourself?
Sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning. So my name's Debbie Kruzik. I've been around for a long time. And I am working on a tech-only platform that I did present back about 2-3 years ago, I think, to 1 Million Cups, which I really appreciated getting to do that. And we've rebuilt it completely and start in September. So I'll see about applying again to present and tell you what we're up to. But I'm an Albuquerque native, but I live in Durango now.
Awesome. Welcome, Debbie.
Thanks,
Thank
Debbie.
you, Sonia.
So we'd like to hear 3 wins now. So anybody who has something that they recognize as pretty cool for themselves or for someone else that happened recently, and we want to share and hear about it, especially because positive news is great stuff to travel, and it sometimes has a harder time traveling than negative stuff. So you've got some positive stuff, help people out by sharing it.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in quick, as usual. So my presentation to UNM last on the 22nd really went well. We had 40 people in the virtual classroom, and we covered all the strategy stuff that we went through last Friday, which was another win because I took over Adam's Friday flow and I talked strategy business there. And we actually went on for about 1.5 hours. So it was quite good.
Well, I have a quick win. This is JJ with the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
So last Friday, we actually held our first annual Community Day PPE drive. So we were awarded a grant with the city where we have to deliver these PPE boxes, the personal protective equipment. And we had over 200 businesses come through our drive-through line. So we did an actual drive-through where they came through and looped around, and we had over 50 business vendors set up. So different booths for different business owners from industries A to Z. And the biggest win was Mr. Adam Brechtel was our facilitator for that event. So myself and Adam went around and interviewed all these business owners, and amazing turnout. We had tons of prizes to give away. So very, very thankful for everybody's help with the city. So huge, very, very big win for us at the chamber and the community. So thanks again, Adam.
Thanks, JJ. That was a good fun. Oh, we also saw Real Big Flicks there, by the way. They're making that growth.
Yeah, we actually had a couple of vendors that have presented here at 1 Million Cups with a booth here. So that's always a positive.
Yeah, that's great. One more win. Someone got something to share, bring up the knit community.
I've got one.
All right.
If no one else does. So I'm also, besides being an author, I'm also a publisher. And one of my authors, the city of Albuquerque is really excited because they are looking for books for their lending libraries that they're spreading throughout the city. And so her bilingual coloring book called Gramitas Tortillas will be in all the lending libraries very soon.
I got one myself. It's pretty
Yay!
great. Thank you. So are we going to breakout rooms now?
Oh, actually,
Nope,
we need to go to Eric.
From Eric.
Oh, that's right, events.
Oh, heck. Let's go over some events. I put a bunch. I'll just highlight, I'll highlight some of those. So first of all, thanks for everyone for coming today. We're starting to do a little more work on LinkedIn. So I put a LinkedIn, the page for 1 Million Cups Albuquerque in LinkedIn. I put that in the chat. If you're on LinkedIn, go ahead, please follow us there. And share what you thought about the speaker, things you'd like to see. We'd like to see some more discussion and promotion over there to help connect with the business audience. Let's see the usual kind of stuff. Tomorrow we've got South Valley Economic Development Center does Taza, which is a bilingual version of 1 Million Cups from 9 to 10. Also tomorrow, one of the best groups out of Santa Fe is Entrepreneur Storytime, and they've got Revolution Bakery is talking about their journey up in Santa Fe, and that's tomorrow evening. Friday Art Walk is this Friday. This coming Tuesday, our good friend, somebody we all know, Sonia is doing a lunch and learn here. Here, whatever here is. It's at Fat Pipe from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. and that's in Marketing 101. It's a free event. A link is in the chat. That should be a really good event. She always does a great job with that. Our good friend Tamara Thorpe, she's got her Real Leadership Live mentoring event, and that's coming up on March 11th. Link is in the chat. A couple other things that I'll share. I put down at the toward the bottom. Hispano Chamber's always doing great events. It was amazing. I just drove by last Friday, but wow, just to see the turnout, to see the other coverage online, that was just amazing to see what the Hispano Chamber did. Let's see. The one thing that I probably highlight, we've got more from Activate NM, but if you're into like social impact and the B Corp movement, UNM did an event about 2 years ago on that. Their Believe in New Mexico kind of first seminar or symposium. They've got another one coming up on March 26th, and I'd highly recommend learning a little bit more about that. That is all I've got. Thanks so much.
All righty. You guys ready for breakout rooms? I have 2 rooms set up. We have our weekly COVID-19 update with scientist Paul Sauter, which is always an interesting discussion. And Donnie, hopefully you'll stick around and host your Success Champion Networking room.